Okay, everybody. So me and my friends have come up with a revolutionary idea in which we will bet on the three major sports throughout the year, keep track of our points, and then determine a winner at the end of this first annual competition that we are holding. And we are officially going to call it
the Sports Betting Triple Crown Trifecta.
And essentially what it is the most prestigious award that anyone could ever think of winning in the betting world. And largely what we're going to do is we're going to bet on the three major sports: football, basketball, and baseball. We've started this year on week 1 of NFL, week 2 NCAA. I got all of our picks in before Thursday or before kickoff Saturday. So I promise these picks are correct, and you'll see as we got some of them wrong that we're being transparent with what we picked, as well as it all being on text if it ever needed to be called out. Not that it matters, because it's just me and a couple friends, so who cares anyways. But essentially the way it will work is this. We're going to start with football this year. We'll come up with something for baseball and basketball. But this is largely how it's going to work. You can pick on any amount of NCAA football and NFL games. NCAA, there has to be at least one FBS team playing. You can pick against the spread. You can pick an underdog to win straight up, or you can pick the over-under. You essentially wager how confident you are on the pick. So for 1 point, we're going to call that a simple pick. 2 points is a confident pick, and 4 points is a lock. And if you get it right, obviously you get those points. If you get it wrong, you also will be deducted those points. Now, if you wanted to bet on a money line underdog with a minimum of a 2-point spread, you can pick that underdog to win straight up, and you will be rewarded an extra half point. You will not be penalized extra for it, but you will be rewarded a half point. You cannot bet on a favorite straight up. There is no picking favorites to win at a reduced price or at a reduced return. You simply cannot pick favorites straight up. We want to try and incentivize making good picks or picks that have a good return for your money and sort of putting yourself out there a little bit more. We also have what are called super dogs. Super dogs are going to be worth 5 points if you hit them. What a super dog is they have to be at least a 6-point underdog. You have to pick one and only one every week. And for every additional 6 points that super dog is an underdog, you will be rewarded an additional 3 points. So for example, if someone is an 18-point underdog, if they were to hit, that would be worth 11 points. 6 points for the first 6 points that they're an underdog, you get 5 points. From 7 to 12, you get another 3. From 13 to 18, you would get another 3 as well. So that'd be 5, 8, and 11 points total. If your super dog does not hit within 3 weeks, it is minus 3 points, and then that penalty will reset for another 3 weeks. At the beginning of the year, we will also pick our NCAA football champion and the Super Bowl champion. Getting either of those right will be 20 points respectively. And you're allowed to make one and only one switch before the kickoff of Week 8 on Thursday or Saturday in each league respectively for a deduction of 7 points. Keep in mind we made all this up essentially on the fly. We're also going to do a Survivor pool. Survivor is NFL only, 15 points for reaching the end or finishing last. We're also going to do an NCAA Bowl Pick'em at the end of the year, which will also be a confidence-rated format. That's going to be worth 15 points also. And so within each sport, we're going to have a respective triple crown that you can win. That's why it's called the Triple Crown Trifecta. So essentially for football, the first leg of the Triple Crown is most overall points. First place will get an additional 25. Second will get an additional 10. Average points per pick, as long as you have wagered at least 100 points total. First will get 15 points, second will get 5 points. Also, if you sweep both the Survivor and the Bowl Pick'em, you will get an additional 15 points. And so those will be the 3 legs of the football Triple Crown. Most overall points, average points per pick, and the Survivor Bowl pick'em. And if you sweep those, you get an additional 25 points. Overall points will be kept relative to each sport, and then at the end of the year, we will tally up the 3 different sports. And then if you sweep the Triple Crown in each sport, so essentially that'd be 9 legs, I guess you'd have to win, you'll get an additional 50 points. And we're hoping to do this every year, so that's why we kind of throw the additional points on at the end, that it'll sort of put you in the all-time rankings if you're able to achieve some of these legs within each respective sport. And so that's essentially what we're going to do. We've already... and as I said, I already got everyone's picks in for NCAA football last week, so we can go ahead and tally those up. So if y'all want, we can do me first. And by the way, guys, I'm an Aggie fan, so I'm fucking hating it this morning. All right, let's see. So I had picked Baylor straight up against BYU. They obviously lost, so I get -1. Now, had Baylor won, I would have gotten an additional half point for them being, I think they were like a 3-point underdog. So -1 there. Alabama did not cover. UNC, Georgia State. I want to say UNC covered, but I did tune out of that game after a little bit. Gotta be sure. Check the tapes. Check the tapes. Oh, push. Damn. Okay, so 0 points for that one. Our first push too, which is good. We can see how that plays out in real time. A&M obviously fucking didn't do shit yesterday, so that's -2. So I had a horrible week in college football. Then again, I don't. As you can see, I tend to bet more NFL than I do football, for the most part. So again, -4 for getting everything wrong. Really not that big of a deal. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, Pittsburgh over Tennessee was their super dog of the week. Did not hit. All right, so here's Ren wins. Got one for Texas. USC clobbered Stanford. Oklahoma State covered. Florida lost, I believe. Yes. UNC was a push. Oklahoma did not cover. Won by 30. Baylor did not cover. They lost by 6. Yep. Notre Dame did not cover as well. Damn. So, Ren, my friend, you're -8 in the hole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Yep. Not a good start. Not good. Let's see how Alpha Twin did. Got one for Texas. Arkansas State plus 44.5 against Ohio State. Woo, they covered. South Carolina and Arkansas. Arkansas won by 14. Baylor did not cover or win straight up. USC did cover. All right, so Ian came out even. Ren's at -8 and I'm at -4. See, like I don't feel so bad. I had a horrible opening week for football, and I'm only -4. I'm in second. All right, so let's go to today. Oh yeah, and so I'm an Aggie fan, and I don't scare easy, so I picked A&M as my championship winner. A little bit of home cooking, as well as they had somewhat of a shot, right? Obviously, yesterday put them way back in the hole. They're gonna have to essentially run the table pretty much if they want to get into the playoff, which I guess, you know, isn't impossible, but would be very hard to do. Ren Wins has Bama, and then Alpha Twin had Georgia, so obviously they're still very much in it. For their Super Bowl picks, Alpha Twin had the Bucks, Ren Wins has the Rams, and I have the Bills. And then I put some other teams here for values that I just put some money on for fun. This has nothing to do with our competition. But obviously I picked A&M. I put money on them every year just out of being a homer. But at the same time, if you're decent in the SEC, right? I mean, they beat Bama last year. They got a great recruiting class, right? It's not like it's not totally outside the realm of possibility in terms of just throwing $1 or $2 on them. At plus 2,800 is not bad. And then these other ones I thought were good values. Obviously Baylor and Texas lost last night. Although Texas's loss is not, it doesn't feel as bad as the other two. Michigan plus 3,300. Yeah, Michigan clobbered Hawaii. Why is Hawaii suck all of a sudden? They have just like fallen off the map. They were not a contender, but they were like a pretty decent bowl team there for a while, and they just fell off. Maybe I missed something. Miami plus 9,000. I thought that was way underrated for Miami, who plays in the ACC, and they have definitely been resurging lately. I mean, they're ranked 15th in the nation. At plus 9,000, that just, to be honest, Miami felt like the best value I saw out of anyone. Plus 9,000 just feels disrespectful. So Miami's probably the best value I thought I saw on the board. And then of course I took a flyer on Texas and Baylor. I figure I don't think Oklahoma's gonna win the Big 12, or at least they're not the typical lock that they are. And so I thought if one of these two teams could have a really good year, they could possibly come out of the Big 12. And then UNC plus 15,000. Again, kind of going with the Miami strategy. They're in the ACC. They've really just got to win like one or two games, one or two big games, you know. So at plus 15,000, why not? Let's put $1 on them. Some other Super Bowl values I liked. I thought probably the best value was the Raiders. I thought the Raiders overall were probably the best value. I tried to rank these in terms of the value I thought they were, or the best, which means I should take Miami, although they're third. Looking back, I think Miami's the best value for the NCAA. I don't know what it is this morning. It's obviously changed. But yeah, I thought the Raiders at plus 5,000 felt a little disrespectful. I think the Broncos have a really good team, and if Russell Wilson can kind of just slide in there and give them some quarterback play, who knows what they could do. Titans also at plus 4,000 felt pretty disrespectful. I'm kind of high on the Commanders this year. I'm a Cowboys fan, but I think the Commanders are being they're being highly disrespected. I think they might struggle a little bit out of the gate. They have some injuries, but I think their air attack is way underrated. I think they got some good wide receivers that can make plays. I think their defense is at least average. So the Commanders at plus 7,000, why not? Again, the NFC East, this coming from a Cowboys fan, is not exactly... it's okay this year, I suppose, compared to maybe some other years. But again, the NFC East is up for grabs. And then the Bengals, you figure, you know, I know there's the whole curse of the losing Super Bowl team seems to never even make it back out into the playoffs. But Bengals and Colts, again, the Colts, their division's not exactly the toughest right now either. And I think the Colts with Matt Ryan, who knows what he could do if he steps in. He's got Jonathan Taylor to play off of. I'm also high on the Bears this year. I think the Bears are going to take a big step forward. I wasn't necessarily a fan of Justin Fields last year, but I thought he did okay. And for whatever reason, I just don't think he's going to have a rookie slump. For whatever reason, I don't see it. And I really like Darnell Mooney. I think Mooney's going to have a breakout year. I got him on my fantasy team. And then Panthers, Browns, Jags, Jets. You know, throw $1 on them. You could win a bunch of money. Why not? Let's do it. All right, over to today's games. That's what we all came for anyways. So I did have the Bills minus 2.5. I did pick that one. Ren wins. Picked the Rams. It's minus 4. And then Alpha Twin not betting on NFL there. All right, so like I said, I'm high on the Bears. I got the Bears plus 7 and over the 41 with San Fran. 41's one of the lower numbers this week, if not the lowest actually. So 7 points, and that's in that low of a game. I just feel like that's a bit of a conundrum. So give me the over and give me the Bears plus 7. I took Washington minus 2.5. Again, they're at home versus the Jags. You know, I guess that's not a horribly confident pick, but I think the Commanders get it done at home. Colts minus 7 at Houston. I don't think Houston's offense can do anything, essentially. And I think the Colts offense will put up some points. Saints minus 5.5 at Atlanta. I'm not sure what to expect out of Atlanta this year. And I just feel like the Saints, you know, the Saints are one of those teams like they're not gonna beat themselves. So I think the Saints can get it done. couple field goals or 1 touchdown. I think that's doable. Kansas City -6 at Arizona. This is more, I just don't have very much confidence in Arizona. Bills -2.5. Again, they're my Super Bowl pick, so I thought -2.5 against the Rams, who, the Rams are still pretty good. Again, it's just, are they going to have the year they had last year? I just, odds of regression, right? Denver -6.5 at Seattle. That will be a fun game to watch. Again, I think Denver's talent across the board is really good, and so getting that quarterback to come in and fill the, one of the few spots that they were lacking, I think Denver's going to be pretty good this year. And Russell Wilson's a smart quarterback, so I don't think he's going to have any problems transitioning. And then Tennessee -5.5 against the Giants. Again, that's more or less picking against the Giants. Tennessee at home, week 1. You got to win by a couple field goals. I think that's more than doable. My super dog is the Bears. I got the Bears plus, I got them to win straight up against the 49ers. They're a 7-point dog. So I think they can do it. So those are my NFL picks. Let's see. Ren goes the other way. He's got +7 against the Colts. He took Eagles -4 at Detroit. And then Bucks -2.5 against Dallas. And then Ian also took Bucks 2.5 against my boys. And then he took Pats straight up to beat Miami. So again, if the Pats win, we'll get 2.5 points. So those are our picks. I'm gonna make probably 1 video a week. Hopefully going forward, I will release it on Friday or Thursday, just depending for the week coming up. Probably Friday night would be best, but we're gonna do 1 video a week. We'll recap our picks. We'll tally the points. And then we will give you all our picks for the week coming up. So we didn't do too good in college this week. So can't really convince anyone to take our picks seriously right now. But obviously week 1, we'll see what happens. And this is a total experiment in terms of this competition. So yeah, we'll do this every week going forward. We'll see what happens. And hopefully it becomes the next big thing that everyone is doing, and I become famous and make a lot of money, and I don't have to do this anymore. So, all right, that's it. Later.